Buck, take us through the final drive. When you ran the ball, I thought maybe you're playing for overtime, but take us through that and how it ended.
Well, the field position that we got, I want to see what we got on first down and how much time we had left. And popping the run, JB did a nice job. So when I looked at the clock, we had the conversation with something. Executed extremely well, end of half, into game, and things that we talk about all the time and practice all the time. So, there's time on the clock left. We got a good production on first down. So, really just a couple big plays away of getting, Sean in a position to go win it for us, which he's done over and over again.
Other than the early drive in the third quarter, like you got to stop and then you wound up scoring. Other than that, the offense did not get traction in the second half. What did Calgary do, and how are you able to kind of stay confident throughout that?
Playoff football, right? They have a very good defense. They're very well coached. They stayed poised. They didn't panic. They stick to their game plan even when they got behind a couple scores. And they didn't want to give up the big play, right? They were gonna stop the run on the way to giving up the big play and keep us in second and longs. And they were successful with that plan for the most of the game, right? So once we established a little bit of momentum and started getting some first downs, that's when we start clicking a bit. So playoff football is always going to look different. It's the reason they call it the playoffs. The best teams are left, and we're excited to really just spend another week together and prepare for Sask.
Buck, there's playing with poise. There's playing the right way, and you mentioned it a couple times. Panic. There was no panic. Is that a mindset you've had since day one with this football team? Is that something that they evolve into? But you said it to me, no panic.
Well, there never should be. There never should be. As long as there's time on the clock, we give ourselves a chance, whatever phase is out there. So, it's something we've preached all year is each phase, when you take the field, believe you're going to go make a play. And that's just kind of what we've done over the last couple of weeks. No sense of panic, more a sense of confidence and excitement and belief amongst the guys.
7th straight victory. Was this the toughest one of all 7?
Oh, they're all tough. They're all tough. Winning at this level is hard. They're all tough. Hopefully, out of each game, you take a little bit of something, and we're a couple plays smarter next week, and that's what it's going to take, right? So we have to prepare for Sask. We got to learn from this game. In these emotional games, especially this time of year, it's important to celebrate it, but it's also important to look at the corrections and make sure we emotionally come down. And I think our group has done a good job of that. That's why you win games consistently and consecutive weeks. But we got a big challenge this week.
Buck, you talked about the emotions. What are the emotions and what's going through your head when you line up for that field goal at the end?
Utter confidence. I see how they work. I see how they operate. Just confidence.
And this is your first playoff game as a head coach. What did you learn about yourself tonight?
It's probably a little bit early for that, right? I'll have to go back and look at it a bit, and assess certain things as we go. I know we got to clean some things up. We can't afford to have a procedure when they're punting. We got to stick away from a couple of those things that are going to put us in bad spots. So keep getting better. Enjoy the process. Just love being around these guys.
And Coach, talk to me about Robert Carr Jr. and what a year he's had, and now a big touchdown, such a big stage for such a young player.
Yeah, there is no stage too big for him. I think that's the biggest thing. He plays with a confidence and a persona that you need to have as a DB. For him in his first year up here in the CFL, he's done a fantastic job, and credit him and the coaches.
Buck, I wonder what your assessment of the offensive line was tonight, because it seemed like there was a little bit of pressure, particularly from that interior that Nathan had to deal with.
Yeah, credit to Calgary. They're very good up front. They're very good up front. They did a great job, moving some things around, getting pressure with 4 and able to, still keep their zone structures intact in the back end. So, we'll look at the O-line and all those type of things, but every game's a little bit different, right? I think the biggest thing is you just got to make sure you can continue to adapt, to how the game's going and what this game looks like this week, right? So that's why we always talk about just making sure that we're balanced offensively and we're able to win different ways.
James Butler was banged up coming into this game. You guys didn't get much in the run game in the regular season finale, not much going tonight either. Is that an area of concern heading into a playoff game in Saskatchewan?
No is my first answer, and the short answer. We gotta take these 2 days and really look at what we can do, all right, to improve in some of those areas. But I mean, if you look at James Butler, what he did in catching the football and pass protection and all that stuff, he's extremely valuable for us. It's not just when he carries the football, right? So, we're going into Regina and we're excited about the challenge and we're looking forward to it.
Last one at the back.
Yeah, Coach. When Amar Dome spoke earlier this week, he mentioned about the this possibility of this being the last home game until August next year. Just talk a little bit about what the fans brought today in terms of the atmosphere and especially in the fourth quarter.
Unbelievable. I've said it all week, and ever since I started my time in the CFL, this is a tough place to win. Whether you're the home team or you come in here on the road, it's never easy. Our fans always have our back. They always show up. We have amazing support from our owner, and if you look at the crowds here and you see the younger generations also showing up, the amount of kids and the parents bringing the kids in and it really puts a smile on your face because they're doing the right things. And these kids, I mean, come on, this game tonight, that's an experience for them that they'll never forget.